I would not have been able to produce that book alone, and AI would not have been able to generate such a book without me. And that's AI-human collaboration for you.
Work didn't become complex because people failed. It became complex because systems stopped working together. Too many tools, too many handoffs, too much friction. Then AI arrived. Not to replace us, not to decide for us, but to amplify what humans already do best. Humans decide what matters. AI helps us see faster. Humans bring judgment. AI brings clarity. Humans create meaning. AI removes the noise. This is not automation without purpose. This is intelligence with direction. When people lead and AI amplifies, work becomes simpler, decisions become clear, and progress accelerates. Not humans versus machines. Not humans replaced by machines. Humans amplified by AI. This is the intelligent workplace.
Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is the live book launch session, and as you can see from the title, the book is titled EVOLVE-OR-DIE.AI, Leading in the Era of Human and AI Intelligence. And if you look at the tagline on the slide, it resumes pretty much what we're going to be talking about for the next 30 minutes. And that tagline, the tagline I refer to is, the bottleneck is not the AI model, the bottleneck is the operating model. Okay, so once again, thank you for joining. And for those who do not know me, I'll just spend a few minutes to introduce myself. My name is Marc Rémond. I'm based in Singapore, and I have been working and operating in the enterprise technology industry, mainly across all Asia-Pacific markets, but also beyond that for the past 25 years. I am the founder of Strategic Pathways, which is a boutique advisory firm. So we advise businesses in certain areas, such as go-to-market and AI transformation. It's my second time founding a company, but in a very different era. As a solo operator today, I run 2 authority brands, an advisory practice I mentioned, but also 7 content pipelines and a 27-module executive program as a single operator. And I think this is the whole argument about the book. You will hear me talking about how artificial intelligence can amplify humans. The book is the example. The way I run Strategic Pathways is also the living proof on how you can do so much more thanks to the technology today. Okay. Finally, I'm a French-born Singaporean, so Singapore is home. I'm very focused on artificial intelligence and how it can shape and reshape enterprises moving forward. And I'm happily married with 4 children and 2 dogs. So if you hear the doggies bark at the back, don't be afraid. I work from home, so that may happen during this conversation, but hopefully not. Okay, moving forward, I'm just admitting people as we go. So let me start by sharing with you who is the book for. And it's not for people who build AI models. In fact, these are very smart people, very technical people, and I'm not here to tell them how to build an AI model. This book is really for those leaders who have, spent my career working with. We've done a lot of things together. It's for you. It's for me. It's for whoever needs to go through this transformation, because artificial intelligence is entering the workplace, and the leaders need to be ready, but they need to be equipped with some of the, I would say, blueprints or guidelines that will help them be successful. Not just the commercial leaders, operations leaders, CIOs, HR leaders, I'm sure will benefit from this book. It's a non-technical book, as you understood from what I said earlier. But it's also for the people below the leaders, below the executives, the people going to have to use the technology, and people who are part of the workflows that will be fully or partly powered by AI systems. Okay, so it's not just the leaders; it's also for everyone within the workforce who's going to have to work alongside with AI in the years to come. So AI, right? It's a very broad topic, very emotional topic in many cases at the moment. It's in social media, it's in the news, and some of you may recognize yourself on one of those three images, and that's okay. Fear, right? Some people are afraid because we're talking about disrupting industries. We're talking about replacing people, right? Displacing jobs. And more recently, we heard about how AI may be used for warfare or, other applications, which honestly can be scary, and that's fair. On the other side, it's extremely exciting because AI across industries and vertical markets and business functions opens the door to brand new possibilities in healthcare, in education, in manufacturing, okay, just to name a few. It's offering new capabilities for the employees and for the entire organization. And that will allow to deliver new services as well, which we have not thought of today, okay, until now, okay? And we'll go back to the internet era and talk about the SaaS and internet era and how how the technology allowed to change business models. Sorry, I'm getting a question. Someone is asking if you can see the content. I believe you can see my content. If not, drop me a note. I will try to share again. Okay? So fear, excitement, and some concerns, right? Concerns related to geopolitics. We hear a lot about the US versus China and what the models are doing in both countries, even Europe trying to come up with their own model company called Mistral. Okay, so there are a lot of geopolitics at the moment. People talk about governance. Yes, we introduce AI in our organization, but how we manage it, how do we govern it? Where are the guidelines? Where do we put the boundaries, right? And we also hear a lot about slop, right? Content of poor quality being generated by AI. All fair questions, but if you ask me, this is not related to the technology. The technology does what it can do. It can do a lot of things, but this is how we use it as humans, as an organization, and how we operate with the technology. And this is the main argument about the book. Now, more and more, we hear companies, right? Because now I'm focusing on enterprise AI in particular. A lot of companies are asking, but where is the return on investment? Okay, we have seen pilots, and we've seen companies buying licenses and burning tokens. Some of them have mentioned that this is quite expensive, but where is the real ROI? And that's a big question, and it's a relevant one. Now, let me point you at the Microsoft 2026 Work Trend Indexed research, right? It actually shows that Singapore is number 2 in the world on AI diffusion. Okay, so the Singapore government has been promoting artificial intelligence quite heavily. There is a complete support not only from the government, but from the entire ecosystem in Singapore, which is necessary to advance in area of AI adoption. But some of the stats are pretty clear, right? The majority of the people, 66% of the people, say that they produce work they could not have created a year ago. So definitely some new capabilities have emerged through the use of AI. Then if we look at the leadership, 20% of the people say that the leadership is clearly and consistently aligned on AI. What does that mean? It means that only a quarter of the leaders know where they're going, or at least are sharing and communicating with their people where they're headed or what they want to do with AI, which is a bit more concerning, okay? And then half, so 48%, half of the organizations are actually focused on current goals and not redesigning anything around AI. And I think that tells a lot, okay? Many people are not even considering the technology as a way to create efficiencies, deliver new services, or create additional productivity and have some kind of AI and human collaboration that can deliver more output or better work quality. Now, one thing we need to know, and you may not, about AI is that AI cannot create magic, okay? It can help you, but if your organization is not well structured, if your processes are fragmented, AI will not create order. AI requires clean data, aligned systems, and clear processes in order to be able to deliver the returns that are expected by organizations. Okay, so before injecting AI into an organization, and that is my message here, there are many things that need to be done in areas of the people, the processes, the spaces, the entire operating model before injecting the technology or approaching AI as another tool for the organization. So, organized structure is required for AI to function. And that is the whole argument about the book, right? I go back to the tagline. I don't believe that the bottleneck is the AI model. We have plenty of AI models available nowadays to choose from. We could argue that some are better than others, but the capabilities are there and are fairly similar. My opinion is that the bottleneck is the operating model. It means that will the organization be able to absorb the technology fully in order to deliver the returns that are expected from it? Okay. And then if you look at what has happened recently, this summer, in only 6 weeks, the 4 largest AI vendors committed close to $9 billion to a single idea. And that idea is to deploy engineers into their customers' organization. They call them front or field engineers, right? That will be deployed in an organization. Now, a technical person, an engineer, can bolt AI onto your systems. That's fine. But an engineer cannot redesign a workflow. An engineer cannot focus on adoption of AI within the workforce. And why would you trust the people who sell the license to build your operating model in the first place? So who's going to have to build the operating model? That's basically you and me. Anyone, the leaders, the staff working in the organization, they're going to have to relook at their entire operating model and look at how AI can improve or can help the workforce be more efficient, how the workflows can create efficiencies, and so on and so forth. And to me, that's a validation. If the top 4 AI model vendors are investing so much, it's because they know the problem is the operating model. And to some of you, it may sound familiar, right? Well, it is not, because we've seen this before. We have been there before, right? Some of you are probably started working when in early 2000, just like me. That was the internet era. That was the web era. And the web era changed how information moved. Before the internet, we were sending letters. Then we started to send emails, right? We started to rent DVDs or videotapes to watch a movie. Well, the internet allowed the content to be delivered through the cloud. That's the cloud era. That's the SaaS era. And SaaS changed how software could reach you. It made it more affordable, especially for smaller organizations to have access to enterprise applications and software. But whether we look at the internet era or the cloud era, both change the point of distribution, but not how actual work gets done. And that is the big difference with AI now. Why? Because AI is not just another technology tool. It actually changes what produces the information and basically changes the point of production. In the past, humans were doing the work, and we used the technology to share it, to communicate it, to distribute it, but humans produce the work. Now AI is able to produce the work. And this is why the AI era is different compared to what we've seen for the past 25 plus years. So the leaders, the organizations are going to need some kind of a blueprint, some kind of a model. And this is what I've been working on. I've been leveraging my expertise and my experience in the enterprise technology space to define what is called the 4W framework, to look at the operating model of any organization. And the 4 Ws stand for workforce, workflow, workspaces, and work tech. Okay, basically making sure that the people, the employees, are enabled with AI, that they are given the skills and the support needed to achieve higher productivity from anywhere. Right? So it's not looking at AI just as a new technology to bolt into your organization, is to understand your people, understand how they look at AI, their fears, their concern. And as humans, we fear what we don't understand. So there is an education part, there is an enablement part that needs to be taken care of. And that's why this first W is critical. The second one is workflow. There are processes and workflows in every organization, but those workflows were defined or created even before the internet era. The internet era just digitized the process, but we didn't redesign the process. And that's where AI allows us to relook at the workflows, redesign them, and make sure that we reduce friction, save time, and can deliver greater efficiency across the organization. Now, workforce workflow can't work without the workspaces. That's where actually people go to get the work done, whether we're talking about digital workspaces or physical spaces such as meeting room, training room, and so on. Those capabilities, right, will be needed by the employees, by the workforce, as well in digital workspaces and physical workspaces alike. And the last one, which most organizations look at first, the last one is the technology stack, which I call work tech, right? Making sure that your infrastructure is secure, robust, that AI is integrated throughout the entire technology stack, including in workspaces, to allow innovation. And that's the kind of framework I would use that I recommend in the book, right? For leaders who need to plan for the introduction of artificial intelligence in their organization. But that's not enough, right? You can have a manual, you can have a blueprint, but there are other skills that are required. And in the book, you will actually hear about the leadership intelligence stack, 6 intelligences that I have selected. Now, there are many more that are required, but those are the 6 that are, I would say, amplified by AI, if I can use that term, because they are even more important than all the others. And the first one is human intelligence. It's what we bring as people: judgment, lived experience, ethics. AI doesn't have that. Second is artificial intelligence. To understand not the best model, but understand the capabilities and how to absorb this technology in the organization. Understand, the geopolitics and some aspects of architecture when deploying AI into the enterprise landscape. The third one is orchestration intelligence, and that's a new concept. I don't think anyone has addressed this part, and it's basically the new way of managing a mixed workforce and govern it. A workforce that is made of people and AI agents. Business intelligence will always be there, top line, cost, bottom line, but more focus, not as focused on the lagging indicators in the past, but more focused on where the market is headed, understanding the signals and reading changes in consumer or enterprise procurement behaviors, which AI can do at a large scale now. Portfolio intelligence, it's to manage basically phase in and phase out of services and products, which is critical because AI bring new capabilities there. And the one that is very dear to me as an operator who has lived across Asia Pacific for many, many years, it's cultural intelligence, something that AI doesn't have, especially those AI models that are created by the West. Do not have necessarily the same cultural intelligence that people have when operating across the world. So the leaders will need to understand that even more moving forward. And I will refer to the book from Erin Meyer called Culture Map, which is very interesting and talks about low context and high context cultures, the way we communicate, the way we look at hierarchy, and so on and so forth. And I think that's going to be essential, especially for global companies, to make sure they understand cultural intelligence as well moving forward. Now, I mentioned orchestration intelligence. Once again, a very new concept. It's about designing and governing mixed teams of humans and AI agents as one system. So until now, the leaders had to manage people from different cultures, people from different generations. People have different needs, different concerns, different capabilities even, okay? And that's fine. But now that we are introducing AI agents in the workplace, it becomes even more important for the managers and the leaders to focus on the humans. And that's where human intelligence is even required even more. We need to reassure the people. We need to educate the people. We need to help them understand what humans will do versus what the AI agents will do, okay? And understand everybody's role and value in the whole workflow. And I'm not talking about delegating to AI or automating everything. No, it's about understanding who decides, who acts, who is accountable when AI and humans and AI agents don't even agree. Okay, so that is the whole story about orchestrating intelligence between the work generated by people and the work generated by AI agents. But at the end of the day, human judgment, okay, expertise cannot be done by AI. So the human at the end should be accountable and should decide the path forward. Okay, so the living proof. I mentioned that I am a solo operator, a solopreneur, some people say, running a lot of things. So to give you an example, this book is the proof. From concept to publication, it took 8 weeks only. The industry norm to write a business book, it's 18 to 30 months. Now, if we write a book on AI that is published 18 months later, the book is already outdated because AI is moving so fast that in a year or 18 months from now, whatever information is in the book will be, pretty much outdated, irrelevant already. Another example is that out of the book, I was able to develop a leadership program composed of 27 modules, packaged in only 8 working days. And for those of you who have created content and training material, as you know, one module takes 1 working day or more. So it would have normally taken me 30, close to 30 working days just to come up with an executive program of this kind. And the last example I'll give you, and this is not to brag, this is just the reality of how I run my business today. Together with AI, I have created 12 different systems. Internal, some are internal, some are external. One of them is to run, finance and accounting in my company. Another one, which is illustrated here, it's called Content Path, and it's basically a AI-powered content generation system, okay, which allows me to run 7 pipelines of content at the same time with AI. Those 7 pipelines generate content that is then distributed across 5 newsletters in LinkedIn every week. It goes to Avixa Exchange, which is an industry community, and it distributes the content as well onto my own website on my blog, right? Those are the few examples for me. To do this, to create so much content and distribute it across the so many social media channels and platforms would take at least 10 people. But I'm able to do this on top of writing the book, developing the training program, and my advisory service. So I believe that many of us, right, just like me, can be one human being amplified by AI. So some of you may be a bit skeptical and say, "What, really? Did you really write a book in 8 weeks?" Well, actually, the book from concept to publication took 8 weeks, right? But it's an operating model that converted 9 months of framework capital. And of course, that is possible because of my experience, my 25 plus years experience in enterprise technology. And that's why I was able to synthesize all of that, capture it, uh, and basically generate the content in a book, and then that was turned into a training program. Now, at the end of the day, this is not just written by AI, right? At every step of the way, this was a collaborative exercise between me and my AI collaborator, okay? So it's an AI system that I built to co-write the book. And we went through many hours of conversations, believe it or not, between the AI and myself, where the AI was interviewing me, trying to extract stories, trying to understand the concept, and so on and so forth. So it was really a conversation. Then the manuscript was given to 2 other AI systems to challenge it. All right. And obviously, once that was done, I was able to pass the manuscript to a few people who were kind enough to take the time and provide tremendous feedback, very constructive feedback, things that both myself as well as my AI collaborator had missed. So I want to personally thank Simon Dudley, Christophe Conan, Laurent Perche, as well as John and Phil Brunkard, who actually provided very valuable feedback. I also take the opportunity to thank my family, who's lived through the 9 months, during which I developed the frameworks and 8 weeks of production. That was really a sprint. And I can tell you, I spent many hours in my home office working on this project. And obviously, as I shared with you, I did not produce this book alone. It was a collaborative effort. So I have to say thank you to Claude, which is the AI model I used. I use AI Claude projects for that. And Claude has argued with me for more than 6 months, because I was using another one before, argued with me, stress test everything together with me about the frameworks, about the book, and about the training program. So that has been an amazing journey, honestly. I've learned a lot of things. And today, I'm very happy to share with all of you that the result of all of that effort and work is the book that is available both on Amazon and on Apple. Okay, so you have the book ID. I'm not sure which one you're using. You can get it as an ebook, as a paperback, if you want. It's up to you, and it should be available globally. But again, this is not about learning how to prompt. Okay, it is more of a, I would call it a blueprint for leaders and executives in general to approach AI not from the technology perspective, but from the operating model, and work on the workforce, the workflows, the spaces, before touching the enterprise technology stack, which is WorkTech. All right, so I have 2 gifts actually for you. Okay, and that is my way of thanking you for joining this session. Okay, first of all, anyone who's attended this session will get a free copy of the book. Okay, so you don't have to go to Apple or to Amazon to buy it. I'll be very happy to give you a free copy. And again, this is my gift to you for joining. My only humble ask is that you help me promote the book via your own LinkedIn or social media account. That will be extremely appreciated. I think many more people should have access to the book, okay, because that will help most of the organizations. The second gift is access to the Intelligent Leader training program. So we have 5 blocks, and the first block is free. Okay, the first block has 5 modules, which I will share, and you can have free access to it. If you are interested to go for the full program, then it's normally $950 per person to have access to the 27 modules or the extra 22. Okay, but for those of you who are interested, I'm very pleased to offer a 50% discount if you want to go through the course yourself. Okay, so reach out to me, ping me, email me in any way you can, and I'll be very happy to extend that discount to you. At the end of the day, if, you know, as a single operator, I was able to build this. So again, I built it at a scale of 1. I think the principle does not change at a scale of 1,000, meaning that if you take this approach into an organization where you have thousands of people, the output, the efficiencies will be, you know, multiplied. I can't give you a number, but I believe that the work that I do today would require 10 other employees, but I can do it as 1. So at least it's tenfold or more because AI is changing the way work is being produced. With this, I want to thank all of you for making the time. Okay, it's been a real pleasure. And right now, I will answer the last few questions. Okay, so we have a question again. Is intelligent workplace reducing employment resources? And how do we advise our workforce to empower instead of feeling for fear? So I think there's been a very lazy pretext or excuse by some companies to lay off people because they say they want to invest in AI. I think they had other issues. They hired people when money was cheap, very affordable, low interest rates. So they overhired, and then when they had, you know, they had to pay back the interest, they had to cut cost, and they put it on the, you know, it was easier to say that it's because of AI than to take the accountability for it. AI will affect some jobs, but I think what more importantly, it will help us to improve the quality of the work that we all do every day. I think that's where the big benefits are. If you compare AI to the machines or the engine, okay, when the engine was introduced in farming, it basically replaced the horse, but didn't replace the farmer. The farmer is the operator, and the operator used the technology to plow the field, to harvest the field, and to scale his farming operations. And I believe that we are all farmers, and we are all learning how to use that machine to amplify what we do today. Yes, some jobs will be affected, like in history, in every you know, things change. The nature of work changes. But what I can tell you is that if you are replaced, you will not be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI. Okay? So use the tools that make you more productive, more efficient, and can produce better quality at the end. What I know is that I'm not a big writer myself, okay? But I would not have been able to produce that book alone, and AI would not have been able to generate such a book without me. And that's AI-human collaboration for you. Thank you for joining. Let's stay in touch. Have a great day. Bye-bye.